very often I think when we think generational curses, it's like this voodoo thing, but it's taught behaviors that result into poor decisions. And so my dad has told me stories about what it was like in his house growing up with his dad and what my grandfather's house was like growing up with his father. I mean, my dad told me a story about my great grandfather was an alcoholic, and they lived in this small, like 2-bedroom house, and kids would be sleeping in the bed, and my great grandpa would come home and have sex with his wife in the same room as kids were in, just because he was obliterated drunk. And my grandfather was an alcoholic and abusive towards my grandma. And my dad told me a story where he came home and my grandfather had pushed the bed up to the door, so blockaded my grandma from being able to get out of the room, was having sex with her, and just my grandmother screaming my dad's name and my dad trying to be at the door to get his mom out of the room, just couldn't. I mean, that was the household that my dad grew up in. So when my dad graduated high school and got out of the house, he just wanted to get as far away from there. There was no Jesus ever in his life growing up. Like, they were never taught the Bible at all. And so, but when my dad went away to college, it was just chaos. He couldn't wait to get out. And so his whole life in college and after that was drugs and alcohol. And it was just watching one generation and the next generation and the next generation, and just me watching my dad. More, I think, when I think of generational curses from my family, it's absentee fatherism. We use drugs, and I use drugs and alcohol as just an escaping mechanism. It was I never really looked at what I did was like, I'm this addicted guy, like I got to wake up and have a drink and go to bed and have a drink. No, it was more as escapism, just not wanting to look in the mirror and see the man that I had become. And so, as I think through the generations of all that, my dad is a believer today. My dad is a missionary today. Like, God has redeemed my dad, and my dad and I have the most amazing relationship today. And today, because of that, I'm walking with the Lord, and I've had this redeemed relationship with my boys now too. And so my just constant prayer for my boys, don't fall in the pattern, the Lamb family pattern. Like, let's be generational change agents, and let's, as we go forward from the history of the Lamb family from here on out, that we are able to do things differently and start a new pattern for our families.